Welcome to Exit Frag. I'm Zeph. I'm joined by under me for TV, my co-host Esports Andy, and that nerd Kaizen. We're gonna start with the biggest news to hit the timeline this week, and that was Verno and Bonkar benched from NRG, which was like, what the hell? Give me your guys' initial thoughts when the news broke out.
Well, everyone was kind of saying like, oh, like people were joking, oh, they're gonna make changes or this or that, but everyone was like, no one's actually gonna make any changes after kickoff. But like, why would that? It's such a crazy move, just so quickly. They've only played like what, 2 matches?
Yeah, three matches. Three matches.
What? Like
Cloud9.
Like EA getting dropped. Cloud9. Yeah.
Cloud9, 100 Thieves, and then Cryo.
Yeah, but this is like EA being dropped like after lock-in. Like, what was the point? This is just like one of them.
I was shocked too. I was like, what? My question was like, who are they going to pick up as their replacement? I was like, NRG could do the funniest thing ever and pick back up Chet or something. But then, like, I'm also thinking is like, where is Bonkar going to go? Is he just like SOL for the rest of the year? Same thing with Verno. I'm sure Verno will get picked up.
Verno and Bonkar are benched, according to the chief operating officer, the CEO of NRG. They are just benching them until someone like buys their contract out. I have it somewhere.
So they're just taking their paycheck stealers.
They quite literally are stealing paychecks right now. Correct.
Well, imagine if Fnatic picks up Verno.
Well, I just don't know why any team right now would like. You wouldn't pick up Verno though until after Split 1 at the earliest, because why would you? Because like you have like a decent amount of time, but like unless you're a team that's doing terrible, like you just came out, like if you're Furia, like maybe you like take a risk and be like, or 2G and be like, oh, we're just gonna get the best players out there. I don't care. Like we just gotta survive. But like if you're just like a Fnatic, I don't feel like you would pick up anyone, like, because NRG benching someone's crazy like this early on. Because you don't even know what the team is. It's been 1 week of playing.
There must have been like some kind of like major argument that happened after they lost.
It had to be internal. Yeah,
it had to be internal. That's the only reason. I mean, they did lose to Crew, but it wasn't like they didn't really get stomped by Crew per se. They won a map against them. It wasn't anything too crazy. But
Crew's not a bad team. They didn't lose to anyone like super like, well, Cloud9, but
they lost to Cloud9. That was pretty bad.
But that was, that's like not just one player's fault or a coach's fault. Like I understand Elmer Putty like being dropped from Fnatic, but not like you had barely any. He showed so much promise with this team in the offseason that like I don't know why you'd have a longer leash with like your coach and this young player.
I see. Yeah, quite weird. Here's the official statement from Jaime. I don't know how he likes pronouncing it. Our roster was 9-3 in official matches and won 2 tournaments. So many will see this as an overreaction to a poor kickoff event. While it's not always possible to be transparent about what goes on internally with the team, what I can say is that we put together a roster that was poised to contend for international championships, but ultimately failed in terms of team cohesion. Winning Sen City and SOOP only delayed the effects of the issues brewing. The team no longer could function as constructed, so continuing with the current 5 players and head coach was not an option. Given the nature of VCT's schedule, this break is pretty much the only window we can make roster moves, so we are doing things to be ready for when champion slot is on the line.
Okay, I kind of understand it, because like NRG did make like changes during Split 2, and if you compare like the way the team looked during Split 2 versus Split 1, they did look a lot better, but they were losing games really closely. So like in a way, I guess he was like, they didn't really trust their current setup, which is still kind of baffling to say. Yeah, we just don't trust this current team. I don't know. I feel like that's just like a lot of like CEO talk. There's something internal that had to go on.
I think maybe Verno as a like personality probably didn't gel super well with FNS, and then FNS probably didn't want him in the team anymore because either he wasn't trying very hard, or I mean there was the
a
interview.
fall off. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there was the original interview with him that they released NRG on their YouTube channel, and you can. It's kind of like, is he trolling or not? When he's saying, I do whatever I want. I don't. If I don't want to play, I'm not going to play. Stuff like that. And he's like,
Yeah.
I don't VOD review. I don't aim train. Stuff like that. So if that was actually real and he wasn't trolling, he was literally like saying, I can do whatever I want. After practice, I'll do whatever I want. I won't play the game at all. Then I can see why FNS wouldn't like him. And then Bonkar's like, oh, I brought this guy in. He was good with me last year. Well, if you don't want this guy either that I brought in, then I might as well just leave. But
yeah, that is like what I was assuming too. Is just like, I mean, it sucks like you having like brought up this guy from like nothing, from like nowhere, and then like you go through Oxygen and you guys do really well, and now you're on NRG, and then they seemingly just want to bench him like without even like, I guess maybe properly like try and develop him. But like you also have to understand like that's just not how things in tier 1 work. Like there's so many players who are VOD reviewing, deathmatching, like doing all these things. Like there's just absolutely no way you can just coast by saying, even if that was just maybe a joke, like saying those things in like a professional setting, like you can't be doing that. Like that's if I said, like if I was like working at Riot as a video editor and I was like, oh, well, I don't really like review my work. I just do it like one time, and you know, I don't take criticism when it comes to, you know, how I edit my videos. Like that's not gonna fly. Like that's insane, especially in a professional setting.
It kind of makes me think of I don't know what NBA player was talking about, like playing with like MJ or Kobe or something like that, and it was just like he was like a really like they were personally like a rookie and they were super cocky and they had always been great, but then they were like, oh, I don't need to practice, I don't need to do that, and then that just like pissed off like the star player or like that old veteran. And I feel like that's like probably what happened with like FNS was like, nah, like I own this org right now. Like you're off if I say you're off. And
yeah,
I mean, just how unlucky is NRG? Isn't this like the third year in a row where they had like internal issues?
NRG has never been.
It's just like they're just unlucky of an org.
Yeah, I saw a video of like someone like going through like the 3 major like catastrophes of NRG, and I was thinking, wow, we have more than one major catastrophe like every year. This is fucking insane. Like we have not gotten a lucky break at all.
I mean, it's good for the drama channels. I'm sure Tactical Rab is like feasting. He's got, when in doubt, I can always count on the NRG
for Americas in general.
Americas.
I love Americas. I love and I hate Americas at the same time.
EMEA needs an NRG. That's what EMEA needs.
Then it'll get more views.
Yeah. All right. Anything else aside from the initial reactions to the benching?
How do you guys feel about did they pick up Brock? They picked up Brock.
Yes, they announced it like 2 minutes after they have picked up Brock and Mike's HD, former
I don't know much
coach
about
of
Mike
100
HD,
Thieves,
but I think Brock is a pretty good pickup. He's been pretty good in tier 2. He used to be on Moist Shopify, right?
I believe Mike's HD coached the 100 Thieves roster that won the last chance qualifier like not a couple years ago, maybe like 3 years ago now.
He coached them in 2023, like the inaugural franchise league.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. To me, I'm not like super high on Mike's HD. I don't know if that's because of a roster, because the 100 Thieves roster was underwhelming, or if it was because of Mike's HD. But I'm on the fence as an NRG fan. But maybe it's because I'm used to like all these like super like hype signings that maybe something underwhelming is like, maybe it's a good change of pace now.
Well, I think if you have faith in at least the anti-stratting strategic part of 100 Thieves of since 2022, then that's what you're getting. Like,
Yeah.
so like it's going to be solid. It's tested. If the team can live up, and like FNS, I feel like Mike's HT and FNS will work pretty well together. I don't think that's going to be like a crazy combo. And then I remember watching Brock always, like the Broctagon, like
Yeah.
he would get so many multi kills. I'm interested to see what he does with with this team. Even though I think Verno's better, but
I hope he's a better teammate. You know,
Yeah. for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
he's got to be right.
How important do you guys think coaches are when you have like veteran players already on the team?
I think especially with this new like changing meta, and especially with the map pool changing this year, it's gonna be huge. Especially with FNS not being like, we already kind of saw he was slow at adapting.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get a new map pool, and then they're probably gonna nerf some. I think it's actually gonna be pretty huge this year.
Yeah, I was just wondering because I remember, like, you guys remember when Meteor did that stream and he was like, he didn't throw his head coach under the bus, but he was like, yeah, Autumn used to be like a big factor, and then he just stopped being a big factor. And I guess in a way, Meteor overall, he was trying to like pump up Autumn, saying, hey, you used to be good at like giving us solutions. We need solutions again. And I was thinking to my head is like, damn, T1 was able to like make it to Bangkok with like with a head coach that wasn't like who was just there for emotional support, which I guess emotional support is needed in Valorant because it is like what 80% mental, 20% mechanical, something like that. But it's like, what does a head coach provide that you wouldn't expect like a veteran players that are on NRG?
okay, so maybe from watching NRG, what I think that they need the most is a coach that can teach them how to pivot during a match. So many times when I watch NRG, it seems like they just go for the approach where they're just kind of like banging their heads on the wall, and they can like they'll run the same stuff, and they need somebody to like be like, okay, you need to like change up your strat. So like maybe like if it's on Lotus, like instead of always just trying to hit A, maybe try going for a B fake into a C, or like a push into a B split. So like honestly, like I just feel like that's what they need the most as far as like stratting and stuff like that. I feel like most coaches are kind of like all in like the same like realm. Where coaching I think shines the most is really during the timeouts.
Gotcha. Yeah, I could see that. It was kind of funny to see some people were like, yeah, move FNS into the coaching position.
That was me.
Yeah, that was you?
That was me.
Oh, okay.
I think just having this a second like veteran mind can just generally help, you know, because it's not easy like during a game to when you're coaching, obviously see the bigger picture, whereas when you're playing, it's harder to see that bigger picture and spot out the mistakes you're making. So I think having like just a different mind can generally help. Timeouts are of course very important to like restabilize a team.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Fingers crossed for Mike HD then.
Yeah. I'm quite I'm excited about Brock. I've been hearing a lot of good things about him in tier 2. Hopefully this like non-hype type of like players and rosters just end up surprising me, because Mada was the one player that I was not, expecting too much from this roster, and he turned out to be the fucking GOAT. The best player, the best player in NRG's history is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
So,
and maybe Mike's was the reason why 100 Thieves are so good. He left, and now they're not so hot.
Yeah, I will say though, the only like if this roster gets blown up at the end of the year, I guarantee you everyone's getting cut except Mada. Mada's just like secured his job for at least the next 3 years. All right, moving on. We have another move in free agency. We have Natank getting benched for Rossi. Guys, you guys give me your initial thoughts, because I have several things to say.
I mean,
stupid.
I mean, to be honest, it's Is it just like a one-word take?
No, go ahead. Just say what you need to say because I got a lot to say.
Okay, I was gonna say it's a sad day to be a Frenchman, the only French player in in VCT, and he's out. But hey, if you're an Englishman, I guess you get to celebrate a little bit and whatnot.
No, I feel bad. I feel bad.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got his visa. He's traveled all the way to America to play like 3 games. How many games did Leviathan play? 4, 3?
Yeah, 3.
3 games just to be cut, even though he wasn't even playing that bad. He was playing pretty well compared to the rest of his team. So I don't know why was it internal issues? I don't know. Maybe what's going on.
It just doesn't make any sense because if you look at Lev and you're like, oh, we're gonna make a change, he was like probably one of the last changes I would have made.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I've said this before that like he's so flexible, like he's able to play so many different nations. He's able to do a couple things that you can't really find on a lot of other players, and he played good, like on this new team that's like really weirdly put together. Like someone will definitely pick him up. It sucks that it's so early because like I said, I don't think anyone should really pick anyone up until at the end of split 1, but he should be picked up by like Carmine again. Or like because then there'd be 2 Frenchmen because there is one at Carmine.
Oh, there is? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Or Gentlemates.
He will not get picked up by Gentlemates again, though.
No. And I don't think that would be a good pickup. But like Carmine, that would be a pretty interesting pickup, or just go back to Europe or something, I guess.
Yeah.
This is a dumb
Maybe an
drop.
Okay.
He gets picked up at Apex.
Yeah, there's a lot of good, like there's a lot of teams that could pick him up. I think he's one of the biggest. If you want to make a change, you pick him up right now.
It's just so funny because like I thought his raise was pretty good on the Fracture.
I thought he was
And, like,
fine.
it's just so funny because like they saw Demon 1 play raise, and yeah, he got kills, but it's like you can tell he's not comfortable on raise still. So it's like at this point, are they just going all in on Demon 1 on raise then? Are we gonna see Rossi double satchel as raise? Like I don't know. And plus like Kingg, isn't Kingg like IGL? Is he still going to be the head IGL? I was just
Kingg is definitely still the IGL.
Yeah, because he's like, and that's what like the thing is, like there's so many good pieces that I don't know. Like Rossi's a good pickup, but I didn't think Lev were the team to pick up Rossi. Like I just maybe he's friends with Demon 1 and stuff like that. I don't know. Like that just feels like a weird pickup to get rid of the French guy that like is playing pretty good.
Yeah, it's like if you really think about it, like who's the weakest link on Leviathan right now? Is it between Calm and Demon 1?
I wouldn't even say Calm was that bad. Like I wouldn't say Lev was terrible. I just think that it's
Demon
time
1
to cook.
I'm sorry, it's Demon 1. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's definitely Demon 1, and I don't know like what's going on with him. Maybe it's like same thing as Ye, like just one great year and just like maybe never again. But I don't know. It's just that team is kind of like just like a cohesion of like players that like already have like identity issues in terms of like their roles, and now you're like trying to throw in Rossi, who's replacing Natank, who's also already playing like a flex, and like how is Rossi gonna slot into this roster? Like he's like an initiator player. I don't know. To me, I'm very confused about this roster. They were looking pretty good, and I think if you were going to do this move, my opinion is that you would bench Demon 1 and move Tex to the duelist role. Tex can play duelist. He can definitely play Raze 2. We've seen it in Tier 2. And I know, Tier 2 is not Tier 1, but I don't know, it's just very confusing. Yeah, to me, I'm beyond confused. That move made no sense. I guess I'll just go on the part that I've been waiting to do. Leviathan are a bunch of fucking snakes. I fucking hate that organization. They have this like weird ass infatuation with North American players that they will do shit that makes absolutely no sense to pick them up. Even if you were going to change your roster, you have a fucking academy team. with a bunch of
Facts.
young talent that you can bring up from. And you decided to go for Rossi? Are you fucking kidding me?
Man, Rossi offseason has been doing amazing for his credibility.
I'm just like, it's such a dumbfounded move to do. And not only that, the reason I say that they're fucking snakes is because you have Natank come all the way from Europe, you have him get his visa, and you cut him 3 months in? This is not the first time that Leviathan has done some bullshit in the Americas. They cut Nouswer on Christmas Eve. Companies don't even do that. They wait till after New Year's to give you like your termination or your 2 weeks or whatever. And Leviathan's out here doing it like they do not give a single shit about you.
Honestly, yeah.
So little Leviathan tirade. I'm sorry if I got out of hand or I demonetized the video, but I had to say it how it was. I don't like this org. I will never like this org. You know, I joke about like Cloud9 and stuff like that, even though they've done some scummy things, but I truly do not like Leviathan.
It's fair.
Anything else, please? Someone take the hot mic away from me.
I have nothing really other than I just think this was like the NRG move is dumb and whatever, but this is like stupid because I just don't see how you can.
I guess they just invested so much money into Demon 1 that they can't get rid of him.
Yeah, but also like, why would you even make that change? Like, I don't know, just spend more time. Like, you have time. Like,
Yeah, I guess they just don't really trust Tex or Natank as a duelist, even though I think they're fine.
Yeah, I don't think that was like your issue. Like, I don't think that was the thing that was holding the team back. Like we said, it was Demon 1, but then also like I don't think you need to cut Demon 1 either. Like, I don't think. I don't know. The Americas is tough.
Yeah, it's just a hard league.
It's a hard league, yeah. So I don't know. It was just a really dumb move by Lev, and I'm just like, I think it's going to completely derail their season.
I mean, they did come close to beating MIBR.
Yeah, I thought they were fine. Like, I just didn't have a huge issue with them. Like, I know they weren't. Maybe, like, I know they're trying to be like the best in the league or whatever, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And definitely by not by dropping a tank right now.
Yeah.
Agreed. And that was our takes on Leviathan and NRG moves. Join us tomorrow when we talk about the very controversial Esports World Cup. We'll see you then.